Oh, that's a nice start. This must be the offset chamber. Another anomaly. It's this one on the northern end of the swamp. Since more than 2 centuries ago, Oak Island has been the most enigmatic treasure hunt in the world. It's been replete with stories about pirates, Templars, and buried treasures hidden beneath booby-trapped passageways. Treasure hunters talk of water pouring into shafts, inundating all effort, as if the land itself were engineered to keep out. It seems particularly to rise from the uphole side, from the direction of the land and not from the sea, confounding engineers and stimulating imagination. But now, after 2 centuries of fixation, the enigma may at last be unraveled. Recent leaked documents indicate that treasure hunters, and the History Channel itself, know much more than they are admitting. One of those finds might be that long-rumored box, hinting at the potential existence of more than one treasure cache buried far beneath. The mystery has reached a dramatic point. And here is a staggering explanation of what was found, and why the world is so intently focused. What is Oak Island, anyway? Hidden away off the southern coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, is a small island of woods covering an area of not quite 140 acres. On first impression, it appears to be just another peaceful spot of coastal ground, encircled by soft waves, scattered boulders, and dense groves of trees. But under its earth and in its swampy center, some say is located one of history's greatest unsolved secrets, a treasure so valuable, or so doomed, that men have risked their wealth, their health, and their lives to find it. If this kind of story touches your heart, if you're someone who cares about truth, responsibility, and speaking up for the voiceless, please like this video, subscribe to our channel Spark Science, and share it with someone who should hear it. Let's get started. Legend started in 1795 when 3 friends, Daniel McGinnis, Anthony Vaughan, and John Smith, spotted an unusual pit in the ground. It appeared to be where the ground had been excavated a long time ago and refilled later. Suspiciously attached to a near tree was a pulley or tackle block, a clue that indicated possible construction beforehand. Certain that they had uncovered a pirate's cache, maybe associated with the infamous Captain Kidd or even Blackbeard, they started digging. What they discovered triggered a domino effect of fixation that has never stopped to this day. While excavating, they hit man-made wooden platforms at intervals, proof of deliberate construction and not natural occurrence. The deeper they descended, the more they were convinced that something of extraordinary value lay hidden deep beneath. But then misfortune occurred, the shaft suddenly filled up with seawater. Regardless of how much they bailed it out, it refilled. Their efforts ended in failure, but they had lit a spark. Over the next 2 centuries, hundreds of searchers would take up the cause, each hoping to be the one to unlock Oak Island's secret. Some sought gold and silver. Others dreamed of ancient relics. Still more were drawn in by the growing web of legends that surrounded the island. Was it pirate treasure? The Ark of the Covenant? Missing manuscripts of the Knights Templar? And then came the curse. A haunting legend developed over time. 7 men would have to die before the treasure would appear. Whether born of superstition or the tragic accidents that befell Diggs, the curse is now in Oak Island's DNA. At least 6 lives have been lost so far to collapses, gas leaks, and drowning. With every new death, it seemed to prove that Oak Island is not easily willing to share its secrets. In defiance, or maybe because of the risk, Oak Island attracted influential attention. Franklin D. Roosevelt, prior to his presidency, invested in an excavation endeavor. Hollywood actor John Wayne invested in the quest. Engineers, academics, and adventurers from all over the world invested their money and time into the pursuit. What made Oak Island so irresistible was the ideal mix of ingredients: an actual site with physical irregularities, odd symbols, odd engineering achievements, coded messages, and just sufficient findings to keep hope alive. More than anything else, it was the notion that something genuinely world-altering may lie just a few feet down. But what were they looking for? The fame of Oak Island does not reside in what has been brought back, but in what may be hidden beneath. Theories are plentiful. Some of the first asserted that the treasure was of pirates like Captain Kidd or Blackbeard. Kidd was said to have hidden a fortune before his arrest and execution. If this is true, then Oak Island's strange shafts may hold gold, silver, or precious gems stolen from the oceans. Another long-standing theory is focused on the Knights Templar. Once their order was dissolved in the 14th century, legend has it that they smuggled their immense treasure out across the sea to bury it in the New World. Some reference Templar-type crosses chiseled on surrounding rocks or the island's abnormally accurate configuration as proof. Might the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, or sacred texts lie hidden beneath Oak Island? Attached to that legend is the possibility that treasures of Solomon's Temple or ancient Christian scrolls were hidden away, waiting to be rediscovered. Another theory holds that Spanish galleons shipwrecked off the coast of Nova Scotia carried their treasure ashore, burying it in convoluted shafts to avoid capture. More romantic speculation has it that French royalists smuggled Marie Antoinette's jewels to the island during the French Revolution. Even the philosopher Francis Bacon is brought into the tale. Some propose Oak Island contains Shakespeare's original works, left there by Bacon himself, whom some believe was the actual author of Shakespeare's plays. Silly as these speculations are, enticing finds have fed the fantasy. The swamp on Oak Island, for instance, looks less than natural. For years, it defied exploration, collapsing or flooding attempts at excavation. But conductivity scans picked up a high metallic signature down below, speculated to be the Jack Adams box, said to be a mythic stash or guard container. Ground-penetrating radar found geometric irregularities beneath the swamp's surface, signs of intentional design. Wooden walls were unearthed, making distinct boundaries, that had been preserved by centuries of mud. A geoscientist even found a specific layer of red soil linking the swamp to an old stone road, implying that it was once part of a larger engineered network, maybe a dam used to flood and guard buried treasure. Even more bizarre, a curved wooden ship-like keel structure was found in the swamp. Beside it was ship railing from the 8th century, suggesting that sailors arrived in Nova Scotia centuries before Columbus. This discovery ignited speculation that Oak Island was not merely a place to hide treasure, but an ancient maritime outpost of significance. And then there is the notorious Money Pit. From the initial discovery of wooden platforms in 1795 to subsequent excavations that revealed coconut fibers not indigenous to Nova Scotia, everything regarding the pit cries artificial construction. At a depth of 90 feet, a stone slab with bizarre markings was allegedly unearthed. Others said it was inscribed, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds lie buried. Critics questioned the interpretation, but that the stone existed at all was enough to fuel the myth. Any effort to excavate further, though, caused disastrous flooding, as if flood tunnels from the sea had been specifically designed to safeguard what was hidden beneath. Recent sonar sweeps far beneath the Money Pit uncovered a rectangular void, which was suspected to be the famous offset chamber. Signals indicated the presence of solid objects within, such as wood or metal. To many, this was evidence of man-made vaults, strategically positioned to deceive and entrap. Some theorists claimed the Money Pit was a decoy, and the treasure was actually kept elsewhere in linked chambers. The search next turned to ancient maps. Researcher Zena Halpern brought forth 14th-century maps that seemed to depict Oak Island centuries prior to Columbus. They contained French marginalia referring to anchors, valves, and other devices, indicative of designed flood mechanisms. More tantalizing was the mention of Rodome, a name attributed to Scottish aristocrat Henry Sinclair, who legend has it sailed to North America with Templar knowledge. Might Sinclair and the Templars have constructed Oak Island's sophisticated defenses? Superimposing Halpern's maps onto current satellite photography uncovered eerie alignments. Disturbances occurred precisely where the maps indicated that something was entombed. Hatch or vault, the suggestion was sinister. Someone hundreds of years ago had meticulously mapped Oak Island's subterranean chambers. And then the break came. Digging discovered a rusty iron hatch buried under clay, gravel, and timbers. It took hours of machinery to pry it open. Below, a stone staircase spiraled down into hand-hewn walls of stone. A passage opened into a room with a stone table, cracked scrolls, and 3 chests made of wood. 2 were vacant. The third had scattered gold coins from the 13th and 14th centuries, evidence of transcontinental trade centuries before Columbus. Deep exploration uncovered yet another vault loaded with artifacts, jeweled brooches, tools of unknown alloys, small statues, and additional coins. These were not random spoils. They had been selected, placed, and buried carefully. For the first time, Oak Island's treasure was not hearsay, but true. But even deeper chambers are locked away, their secrets still unrevealed. Ground scans indicate the biggest vault is still intact, with the most precious artifacts of all. It is out of reach for the time being. Whispers now circulate that the History Channel has already made these findings official off-camera. Cast and crew have purportedly examined footage of the hatch, vault, and artifacts. Drone flights, new excavation permits, and rumors of a special season all point toward an announcement soon. Speculation among fans is that the network is waiting until after the site is secured to prevent looting or destruction if word gets out too early. The secrecy is the stuff of legend, and maybe it's needed. Oak Island has always been a location where obsession collides with peril, where history and legend intersect. But for the first time, it appears the enigma is yielding. 2 centuries of rumor, death, maps, and engineering wonders have come together on one fact: Oak Island does contain treasure, and the world is poised to find out precisely what it is. Only one question remains, and that is what that treasure will represent. Pirate booty? Sacramental objects? Evidence of a lost page in human history? Whatever it is, Oak Island has had the world awaiting for over 2 centuries. Now, finally, it might be ready to talk.